Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss something the Education Secretary said today on the day people get their A-level results, which seem to suggest that education's a waste of time. She certainly suggested that all the hard work which so many students have put into these A-levels was something of a waste. So if the Education Secretary doesn't think the education system is any good, and I've got my criticisms, why isn't she improving it? But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel. So, hundreds of thousands of people finding out if their hard work paid off for their A-level studies, or if you were a little bit more like me, you dodged a bullet from your laziness. It's nice to know that the Education Secretary said that the results are basically worthless. Interview, Sky News this morning. No, don't worry about them, they don't mean anything. She said that they won't ask you anything about your A-levels in 10 years' time. Then, just to stick the boot into this year's university graduates as well, she said that after a bit longer, they don't even ask you about university. Now, sorry, but if you're a doctor interviewing for a job, I'm pretty sure they're going to want to know that you went to medical school. I'm going to say that straight away. I can certainly say that when I applied for jobs as a teacher, they wanted to know what I'd done at university and at A-level, and I even have to put my GCSE grades down. You know, I can say that A-levels and grades still count 10 years after completing them and longer. The greater emphasis, yes, is going to be on the higher level of study if it's relevant to the job, which it will not always be. You know, what you want to be in a later career when you're picking your A-levels or you're going to university isn't necessarily what you end up being. I didn't do A-levels to become a YouTuber, did I? There's no such thing as a YouTuber. But what if A-levels is where you stopped formal education as well? Of course, that's going to carry on. Also, I know in her own twisted way, she may have just been trying to comfort those who didn't quite do as well as they'd wanted. But what a way to deflate those who worked really hard and did do well. Plus, regardless of whether the Education Secretary thinks that the grades matter for the rest of your life, they absolutely matter in the here and now. They are essential for the next step of your ambitions. Otherwise, why did you do them? Saying that people won't ask about them 10 years hence is because she's thinking about them asking about your university education instead, and that after that, your workplace experience. Yes, people are more interested in the higher levels of skills you have, the more recent stuff. But how do you get onto the undergraduate course without the A-level grades? How do you get that workplace experience in a graduate job without the degree? No matter what angle you approach this from, if a student took the time and effort to study A-levels, it is because the grades do matter to them. It's no comfort that in 10 years' time it won't matter, because if they didn't get the grades, of course it matters in 10 years' time because they missed their original ambition. With this tone-deaf statement, she is basically devaluing all the hard work of those students who busted a gut to meet their potential, whatever that potential happened to be. She's basically saying, well done, nobody cares. And to those who were disappointed with their results, of what value is the statement? How does it help them? Oh, so I could just pursue my career aims regardless of the results because they won't matter in 10 years? No, that's not how it works. 10 years after your first word, nobody's going to be impressed by a burbling meh from you. But that first word was still a vital milestone to hit, because without it, you'd never be able to say anything worthwhile. You might even end up becoming a Tory Secretary of State for Education. But then another thing, what Gillian Keegan is effectively saying here is that A-levels are worthless in themselves, like a tick box exercise to get onto the next irrelevant stage of your life, so that if you're lucky, maybe by the time you're 35, you'll have built up some genuinely worthwhile skills. So if that's her view of the education system over which she is presiding, in England and Wales at least, why isn't she doing something about it? If I were Education Secretary, you could bet your arse I'd have a list of reforms I'd like to introduce. And I don't think A-levels are worthless. I still benefit from them to this day. I have never thought of them. You know, I'm like in my late 40s now, and I never think, oh, I just did the A-levels to get on to the next step. I still find the knowledge and skills valuable. I still find the knowledge and skills from my degree valuable. People may not ask about it, but I developed skills which have allowed me to get to where I am today, which is completely different to where I thought I was going to be. But I think I think the way we run assessments is unfit for purpose. I'd reform that. I think the way we inspect schools is unfit for purpose. Deadly in some cases. I'd reform that. But the point is, if I had influence over any system that I had little to no regard for, I would change it. Why would you want to preside over a system that's of no value? Why isn't she wanting to change it? But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, the join button for memberships. And until next time, I'll see you later.